The MPP now says he has some 26 questions for the government. John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, has directed for a probe. Reverend Ntim Fordjour is telling us that he has not received any formal invitation from any security agency. The minister in charge of government communications, Kwachu Fosu, says Reverend Ntim Fordjour will be picked up if he doesn't avail himself for or to assist with the investigations. I sort of brought all these angles up so that we can see what we are dealing with. So I'll start with you, Elvis. I mean, there's so much surrounding this particular issue, but what we're not being told is whether indeed some investigations have gone on, and this is exactly what it has uncovered.
See, for me, I said it here last week. The way sometimes security agents approach issues, I disagree with them. And for me, I think that when we are building a country, it's not about government versus opposition. I've observed this thing, and I've always been saying this for more than 50 years now, that it's as if when government gets accused of something, anybody who makes the accusation is an opposition
person.
So government response also is directly to the opposition. So it's like the people of Ghana are not even part of the conversation. Government is in charge of everything in this country. So if a member of parliament or if another person makes an accusation that, oh, A, B, C, D, it's made it public.
Yeah.
But it does not necessarily mean that the government should also respond publicly immediately. Even in the most advanced jurisdictions, things happen and even the entire security agency don't even know about it.
Yeah.
So if somebody felt that, oh, I've seen 2 aircraft at the airport, from my own understanding or thinking or questioning, I think that there is something suspicious about them, and the persons raised the issue. I think the first thing, in my view, is for government to just look into whatever the person has said. The response, to me, is not president directing for investigation. But person have problems with presidents directing institute to investigate, because we set them up with the laws of Ghana and mandated them to do certain jobs. So certain allegations are made. I don't expect any president to be directed. That's one of the problems I had with President Akufo-Addo. Every small thing, I've directed this institution, and I've said this over and over. If the president has to be directing institutions before they do their work, then we should close them down.
Oh, perhaps they're doing the work, but it's the weight the presidency brings to bear on them.
No. See, this is why every issue will be politicized. But if a member of Parliament raises an issue, I don't even see why the president should respond. If the president even has anything, if the president has to have anything, he can call his security bosses in charge of those sectors. Say, have you heard what this person has said?
What do you know about it?
What do you know about it? Please, maybe within 2 weeks, do something, or if you have any information breaking, but if you don't have, please look into what he's saying. Within 2 weeks, maybe give me a report to know what something. And then communication should start from the investigative bodies. That maybe NACOP or any of all the agencies that have investigated the issue come up and say, oh, this and this and this is what has happened. Let the response start from there. And then when there's the need for a higher authority, the minister comes in. But now the president rather has come in, the minister has to speak. It just creates a situation where, as you have said, the whole thing becomes convoluted. You don't even know which one to accept or believe or to know who is. And I think that we really have to streamline the way we do things in this country. And that is why I see all these kind of issues coming back and forth. You see, when the government is accused of anything, whether true or false, you are the one in charge of everybody in the country. The whole country is in your hand. So it's proper that the government takes its time. Okay, this allegation, look into it. 2 weeks' time, whatever you found, please go to the public. Let them understand that per your work, this is what you have found. The Ghana airport is there. NACOP is there. Airport has all the security agencies, the immigration. They are all there. The security services are all operating at the airport. The airport should do your work, give a report, and let the people of Ghana know that what the MP has said, this is what it stands for. This is what. If the agencies at the airport together come out and issue a statement or address the press, the people of Ghana will see it differently from a government communication person. Because the Minister of Information speaks for the government.
Yeah.
You understand it?
Yeah.
But we have agencies that are working. If they had come out to address the issue that what the MP has said, these are the facts. The way public will view it will be different from when they see the Minister of Information. Because we have all come to the conclusion that Ministers of Information are there just to defend and protect government. So whenever a Minister of Information says, it's seen in a different light than when the institutions that are mandated to do these things come out and say something that per our work, this is what we think has happened, or nothing untoward has happened, and these are the facts.
Right.
The response of the public, to me, will be different than when you see an information minister. Because the way our information ministers up to now have done their work is everybody has come to the conclusion that information ministers are there to defend and protect government, and sometimes even tell you things that later they are caught to be lying, and they have to come up with all kinds of justification, and the position keeps changing. But if all the institutions responsible were the ones that did their work and came out and said, this is what it is, I believe that people will view, I believe even the MP will view it differently. But when the communication is like, it is government that is trying to defend, the question is, what has government got to defend? Excuse me to say, within the first 4 months of this year, we've been told of 3 different arrests in relation to cocaine. 452.1 million. 450, and all of them, none of them was arrested at the airport. All of them were arrested at obscure locations. 2.1 Oyarefa, some from a central region, western region, obscure locations. So obviously, the security agents themselves should realize that we have a problem. We have a problem at hand. We have a problem at hand. So if somebody even raises that suspicion, yes, say, look, what is happening is not the right thing. We don't think that our country we should be even arresting cocaine left and right because we don't produce cocaine. So if people have found ways of trying to bring this thing in, look at where cocaine is coming from. Not Temapoto, not Kotoka, but western region, somewhere. So somebody should be, so it means that people have changed their locations. Maybe probably they bring the goods crossing the borders, or they put it on the high seas and fishing boats go to bring it, cut it to obscure location. They are trying to evade security. So what has happened there in terms of the 3 arrests, which they should be commended for arresting the people, that is a huge commendation. But that also sends a signal that there's a problem. There's a problem that you need to. So if a member of parliament comes out and makes such allegation, I think the first thing, if they come to look, first of all, we have arrested all these people for you to even know that something like that is happening. Going on. Based on that, that's why you are making this accusation. But the accusation you have made, this is the professional work that I have done by all the institutions involved, and this is the position. I think that it will have solved this problem far better, but when the people raise the says that government is trying to fight back without even any information coming from the institutions and agencies involved, then it's like you are not willing to or ready to investigate the issue. You are trying to defend the issue. The point is,
what is there to defend?
That's the point. With all that Felix is putting out, if, as I've said, if the institutions that are responsible for some of these things are the ones who spearheading the communication and release of information around some of these things, I think that it will help. This is the problem of this country. We think that every communication should come from government. Once government is accused or is mentioned, it should be coming from government. The information ministry. It's rather creating a deficit for the government.
Let me go to Elikem.